And welcome to another video. Welcome. Today we are gonna take a look at Tazavesh hard mode and how you can best get your way through the Deathless here. The way we are gonna do that is that I'm gonna show you the run we did in week 1, because that went quite well, and then I'll tell you all the little tips and tricks that I've found out and used here in the 2 first weeks. So hopefully you can do it really well. So on the first boss here, the changes are really simple. You are fighting the mini boss alongside the first boss. The way we did that was just bloodlust and nuke down the mini boss. You can also reset the boss and then fight the mini boss and take the boss afterwards. But however, if you do this here, make sure you are ready to pull the boss in case the reset fails. I recommend a tank does this here with a Shadow Milk potion. However, I haven't tested this yet, so your mileage may vary on how this actually functions. Going on to the next boss here, the trash is quite simple. It's the same as a plus 10 or 11 key, but you should still pull nice and easy and just take it slow because you will be waiting a bit for bloodlust. I'll clog it. So, coming up here to the mini boss, as you can see here, we opted to pull it out in the side of the streets here and just play it quite normally. One thing that we have had some success on doing in keys, sadly I haven't managed to get footage of this here, but in the console you're clicking on after defeating all the bosses to go up to the 5th boss. You can actually pull the big guy up onto that, and then he won't be able to do the link between people. You'll still have to do with the mines in quite a tight space. So, but this is a way you can up for it. The boss here isn't really that hard, and you're really on time constraints. So slow and steady here is probably also the safest bet, especially if you're going for a Deathless run. And next up here we have the Menagerie. The changes on this here is that the bosses will spawn down right after each other very quickly. So we opted to do it the following way here. Waited for bloodlust and all our cooldowns, pre-stacked everything we could. If you have the prism trinket, you can actually pre-stack this outside of the room on a turnip or any other form of training dummy. And once the second boss here spawned, we bloodlust and send everything and just blast down the first one, and then the fight was relatively easy to deal with here, especially if you are creeping up as I currently am at like 709 710 item level. This here should be very easy to do. So the easy explanation is nuke boss and make sure here you dodge things. You definitely want to avoid the orbs here, even though they give you a DPS increase. They do hurt and can easily wombo combo you together with something else. Ideally, you'll kill the boss in the doorway or in the corners, so the orbs are nice and contained and easy to pick up with from the people with the suction buff. The last boss here, the Suck-In, will one-shot you if you get dragged in, and it ticks really quickly. So make sure you respect it and get out of the way in good time. It would be a shame to lose your Mythic track items by somebody greeting your DPS a little bit. But yeah, once you finish off the bosses, it's GG and on to the next one. The chains can be removed by the usual root removals. And now onwards to the market event, which is also a thing. You started by buying the piece of goods the guy here sells, and then you want to make sure you just cleave down the ads, blast them down as hard as you can, and rinse and repeat. It's very important that the tank picks up the goods that drop and you trade in, because after you pick them up, the ads will spawn. Make sure you let your tank get at least half a second of aggro or something before doing the event, and then you can go and hit it. Accidentally ripping aggro because the tank hadn't hit the mobs that I thought he'd hit, and dying would be terribly bad. Also, another thing here you do want to note, and you likely want to let your teammates know of, is not to try and enter the password before the password has actually been revealed. Because if you are pressing the wrong one, you'll just get one shot and die. So you want to let know and make sure you're pressing the right one. It will also be in your chat, no matter how far away you are from the mob. It will be there. So for the Deathless run here, while we are clearing up the rest of this trash here, I would like to explain a little bit about the comps. Prod palace are absolutely amazing for this. I'll explain a little bit later, but like all the extra defensives and mechanics they have to like save your teammates, even like a red paladin will also be nice. You're gonna need something with a form for mass entanglement or AoE CC for the dragon boss. And the druids, shamans also really good, and just generally anything that gives you a buff. Or AoE defensive. Anything that can break roots are also absolutely amazing for this year. Again, the paladin who has freedom, who can freedom to people. Druids who can shapeshift. Generally really, really good for this.
Made it.
So time for the music boss here. This has been changed, so we are also gonna cut out the part that has been removed. The first set of ads are no longer there. So we are gonna make sure here we get all our buffs here. This is very important because the shield can be quite tough again here. If you have a bit of gear here, obviously this will be easier. And we are gonna just slowly fight. You see that little guy running in there? The free little guy? That guy needs to die right away. It is quite painful and it's only gonna get worse. Once you kill that, the fight is fairly safe. And then we are just like continuing to kill the rest of the guys. That is right, of course, right until we get to the area here where we are gonna fight the boss. We're gonna get our buff again. Boss comes in, and then we are just starting bombing. So, ideally here, if you really want to, you could say, like, wait out a loss for this here. We opted not to, because as you can see, it is absolutely melting. Like, very fast. So, you see the nodes spawn here during the shield. You want to go and grab those so you can maintain your buff. You only actually have to hit one of the nodes with the power slide if you already have the buff.
I thought I hit them.
The real tricky part here comes when he is doing the pull-in. And we are going to have to like slide out of that, just like we're doing in the key. As you can see here, the shield comes up. This shield here will be tough to make it if you are not having a damage amp up. We make it quite well, and then we're just gonna opt to kill the boss. So Postmaster or the mailroom boss is probably going to be the first roadblock and the first boss that is able to cause some serious danger here for your Deathless run. So here is the following things that I suggest you do in order to deal with it. So we want to clear the puddles away from the middle of the room, and we want to try and see if we can get any of those that are too close to the deposits. We are going to deal with the AoE here. Make sure you use the defensive here. Doesn't do that much damage, but especially if other things are going on. The money orders can be immune with full immunities, physical immunities, or if you have a full damage immunity. But if you are having a full damage immunity, you need to move far out of the group. For the briefcases here, we are going to pick them up and we are going to throw them in the deposits. Once you pick them up, you are rooted. Then we are... What we opted to do here was we were going to go form a line, and then we are going to throw it to each other and bounce it in. However, as you might have noticed there, I'll put a clip of it as well, you can bounce it to yourself, so you can throw it a bit in front of you, and then you can catch it and throw it a bit further. That is the easiest way to do this by far. You also want to really pay attention to the puddles on the ground, because we actually lost a run last week that caused by us panicking a bit with the cases and one of our friends here accidentally being rooted in a puddle. So quick throw them. See, you throw and I counted there, and you can do that. The timer does not get low. Here I'm like trying to signal my teammates to throw it, and I'll catch it, and then I'll throw it the rest of the way in. I'm just going over to catch it here just to make sure. The money order is being immune by another walk by a demon hunter here. And that's the fight. The rest here we are just killing. So, next up is also one that is a bit different and quite a bit difficult here if you are not prepared. So, as you can see, the room is being split up in 4 quadrants. The changes here is now that we're starting with the room fully split, and we are going to have to do kicks on 3 times now and on every quadrant. So you want to assign 4 people, preferably not the tank. The tank usually just goes wherever, and have each person go to their quadrant as we are about to kick. Because every time you kick, he's going to teleport. It's not like in the easy mode where he is like, you kick and then you kick again. So you kick him, then he ports to another quadrant, and then you kick him again, and then he ports to another quadrant, and then you kick him again. And that is also, see, he ports now. I go to my quadrant, and I'm ready once the kick goes out. And I should have gotten it, but it got kicked quickly, and he ported back to the same one, and it got kicked again. Prod Pally things. That was a reason why they were smart to bring. Also, Prod Pallies for the previous boss can beat them and just deal with the cases and run. Alrighty, we are now in Gambit territory here. So we were very lucky that we actually did not have to wait for Bloodlust, because Bloodlust reset once we went into Gambit. This boss here is quite tricky. There's quite a lot of ads. There's an extra ad. That ad has to be interrupted and focused down. Rather just like let the other ads cast and do whatever to the boss, that ad has to be stopped. And after that here we can just finish off the ads. So the change here is that the boss is basically from OG Tazavesh, where we had to deal with the console and not being able to see the console. There used to be a weak aura for this here. We actually didn't opt to like find the weak aura that posted. Otherwise you can use your voice and say yellow go there, orange go there. We're not in a time constraint, so that is totally fine to do, and then we are just putting them in. However, we opted to do the Omega Chi strat for this boss and simply just use a Discord stream. So the one person who didn't have 2 monitors was assigned to console duty, and we had his screen on our second monitor, so we could just look at where they were, and that was super duper easy. Another ad comes in, and we finish up that, and then we kill the boss. Rinse and repeat. A boss that can be quite dangerous, so make sure you play it safe and just kill those ads. Those ads is what's going to kill you here. And for the second to last boss here, the Time Captain Hook, whatever, Dragon boss. Really cool boss fight, and the change here is that the ads now needs to be hit by the breath twice in order to broken free. You're gonna want to bring all your damage here to the boss as possible, and you want to make sure here you are having some classes with some forms of mass entanglement, root totems, etc. here to deal with the ads to keep them steady. Knockback's Sigil of Change here could also be really nice for the extra breath control. What we really want to make sure here we are doing is just stun and see through the ads if they get too close, and just make sure we kill off the ads if they are there. Nice and steady still. Really a simple boss fight. As you can see, I blinded a little bit too late and we missed one of the ads. That's okay. We'll just keep pumping and kiting, pumping and kiting. So one thing here you really want to do is like, you want to be pixel stacked underneath the tail. you want to make sure you are as tight as stacked so all the mobs are running directly towards the boss here. Nobody should be standing in range for as long as possible. I get it, it's really hard when the mobs are starting to run into you. And this here can be very chaotic, very quick. So you want to hold on to your defenses as long as possible. That could potentially save you from melee hits from the ads. CCs, stuns, everything you have here to deal with them is also really good. Once you make it to one of the end here, the fire should start despawning pretty soon, so you can start making your way back as quickly as possible here. If you are having a hard time trying to hit the ads with the breath, another great way is to buy you some more time to kill it, is simply just to blast down the boss and CC the ad. But once this boss dies here, you're almost home free.
That.
And the last trash mob there is left that could pose any danger are the Star Seekers.
Don't
and
worry
they
about my cooldowns.
are dropping these quasars. They need to die ASAP because they do actually do a shit ton of damage that you really don't want to be taking.
Anyway.
But yeah, killing all Star Seekers, and then it's on to Solea. And it's the Solea. So I want to preference this here by saying we kind of screwed up by sending cooldowns right on the pole here. Ideally, you want to make sure you have everything ready for the second phase, because that is by far the hardest. So here we are simply just going to deal with the assassins, and we are going to deal with the stars. So the stars, the first two soaks you're doing now is that you will be pulled in towards them. So make sure here we are not being pulled into it, because that will cause somebody to die. And also we are going to make sure that we are rotating who soaks this. Very, very important. And unlike on normal, you are going to be gaining a stack whenever that thing gets pulled in. So the stars here are going to be relocated right before the line goes out. So what you're going to do is that you're going to site a area where you are going to be, and then you are going to go and catch that star that goes there after the swap. And then we go back here. We want to pull it over here to the corner. And one thing that I did a little wrong here that made it a little harder is that I did not face the stars here all the times. As you can see here, I am turning away a bit. You just want to make sure you keep an eye on those here at all times. That makes it a lot easier to dodge. And in here, this phase, we are actually going to have a star. From right here, we want to make sure here we deal with this very quickly. Having like a weak aura or a timer that shows you how long you have to deal with that star could be quite helpful in making some very informed decision on whether it's safe to do or not. Since we opted here to not do the last soak, and that is when we found out, oh shit,
Wait.
we are gonna take a second hit. And that hurt a lot. Almost killed someone.
Oh, we do need to do the last because we are getting an extra stack, everyone.
Yep, we do definitely need to do the last one.
I'm near the far one here on yellow.
Alright, and we are making sure we do these here. We had a little bit of confusion of who goes where. We missed one, which means we have to do them all again. However, it is no biggie. It will be fine. Again, as you can see on the boss health here, is still quite high. At this point here, we still don't actually have a death during this run here. And that was quite high here during the last week.
Yeah, Killer Chris, he knows what's going on.
I even gained a follower on Twitch. Which reminds me, if you've made it this far into the video here and like and enjoy, then definitely go and follow me over on twitch.tv/KillerChris. So, this point here, we have a very, very bad overlap. Because we are getting the stars, and we're getting the Soggin. And that is where we killed the Shaman. So definitely, the The first one after the first swap-a-doodle of the small stars there. And we have to positioning.
Oh, no, that was brutal.
I know, it was very brutal. You are going to hold your
No!
cooldowns, and you are going to send it, and you're gonna go and wait with doing that soak till after the lines have gone out. GG's, hope you are more lucky than I am.